Hello, everyone. Welcome to Comicstorian. Spider-Man was announced with a pseudo-sequel. A lot of misinformation got thrown out there. We're going to discuss that real quick and then quickly throw out what our two theories are about what this game is actually about. So if you've lived under a rock for the last weekend, which, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, maybe you did miss it. PS5 was announced, and they announced Miles Morales Spider-Man. Now, from what I understand, there was some kind of miscommunication at Sony during the event, and somebody within one of Sony's official forums tweeted Spider-Man 2, that it is Spider-Man 2. It is not Spider-Man 2. It is a pseudo-sequel slash side game. I think it's
a spin-off.
Spin-off game.
Yes.
Featuring Miles Morales. It is, from what we understand, going to fall in line as Uncharted Lost Legacy, potentially the Last of Us thing, which he thinks is a DLC, I think is a spin-off, but Left Behind is what it was called, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and then Infamous did a similar thing called First Light.
Yes.
And so basically what those were budget games. They were like $30 instead of the usual, 30 or $40 instead of the usual 60. And it was significantly shorter than the main games. I remember First Light was 10 hours long, while Infamous, the original, took me like 25 hours to get everything done. I believe the Uncharted one was only like 6 hours long. I started that one, I didn't finish it. And then Last of Us, I never actually played the Left Behind one, but from
it was good.
It is it?
Yeah.
And it was short though, right?
Yeah, it was short, yeah. But it was good, yeah.
So the miscommunication is that it's Spider-Man 2. It is not a DLC, an official DLC. It is a separate game, but it's a spin-off game, probably to test the waters and see if they can get a full franchise out of the Miles Morales character after the Spider-Verse movie came out and made him popular, more popular than he already was.
We got 2 different Spider-Man games. Sweet.
I mean, I would not be upset if
every now and then you see Peter or Miles swinging past each other.
That would be really. So they do this one. So okay. So that's what we wanted to say. That is the only official information. And as far as Insomniac has said after this, it is Insomniac doing this game, right? Whoever the company is that is doing it, they said we will give you more information later. So there's not even a date. It's not even like Squadrons, where you were complaining that there wasn't gameplay for Squadrons, and they're like, it's coming Thursday. It's coming Thursday.
Calm down.
We're gonna make a video for that on our gaming channel, Comicstorian Gaming. Formerly Eligible Monster. We're fixing the branding. It's now Comicstorian Gaming. It's me and my friends discussing all kinds of cool stuff so that Natalie can focus on her Twitch. Nice little plug. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, let's throw it out there.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't very organic, but whatever. It's fine.
You want me to open up a portal like it's
No. Just keep going.
Okay. Comicstorian Gaming. Link will be down below. We're going to talk about Squadrons this week over there. But anyway, so how do you think they're going to do this? You played Spider-Man, right?
I did play Spider-Man.
Okay, so you know the ending where they reveal Miles does have
Miles
the
has powers. Yep. I mean, there's part of you see when he gets the power, or when he gets bitten, I should say.
I say when he gets bitten. I don't remember seeing the powers.
They don't actually show the powers until he shows them to Peter.
Right. It was like a post-credit scene, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so we were all like, sequel!
And he's like, this is okay. Don't freak out, but this is going to be weird. And then he hops to the ceiling, and then Peter hops to the ceiling next to him. He's like, it's not that weird.
Okay, so how do you do you think that do you think they're going to tie this into Spider-Verse, which ever since Dan Slott's original Spider-Verse comic run, people have been freaking out about, and they love Spider-Verse, which turned into a movie, a Spider-Verse sequel, a Spider-Verse trilogy. Like, we just had a third Spider-Verse, if you missed it, but we're going to put it up on the channel soon. Which it was weird. It was not as good as the other two.
That's fair.
It was Miles-centric. Did you know what they did for that one? So for a while, they had a thing going in the internet called Spider-Sonas, where you would make your version of what you would be as a Spider person.
Okay.
And they took all that fan art and they put it in the comic.
I mean, that probably could have been cool for some of them.
But the problem is the overall plot was really bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I think the use of those characters would have been awesome
if they had done it well.
If they had done a plot that made sense.
That makes sense.
Anyway, do you think that they're going to incorporate the Miles Morales game into the Spider-Verse?
I mean, I could see them doing it. I actually hope they
They keep it like Gamerverse.
One of the reasons I liked the PS4 Spider-Man game was the way they took various elements from the history of Spider-Man and molded them well into one universe. So we had a Miles Morales in the universe that we didn't have to get through alternate realities or Peter Parker dying first or anything. Like, the way they lumped them together felt organic. It felt real. It felt like
the way they did
it. To me, it was a better way to meld Miles with the normal Marvel universe than they did in the normal comics, which is they ended all the universe and then Miles just happened to be
Yeah, it just showed up.
And he's fine, and he remembers being in the Ultimate Universe, but we're not really going to talk about it all that much. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. So the way they melded them in the PS4 game, I thought was a really good way to bring those elements together. So I honestly want them just to continue doing it that way rather than being like, and now we're in the multiverse too. Now, I know everybody loves the multiverse, but I think for the PS4 or the PS5, whatever you want to say it, the Spider-Man gaming verse, I think it would be cooler just to keep melding various parts of Spider-Man history into one coherent universe.
I 100% agree with you on that.
Thank you, I'm a genius.
Ever since Into the Spider-Verse and this version, it's like, oh, we could do Miles well. Why is Marvel Comics just doing...
Yeah.
Because in the movie, they gave him a much better origin as well.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they wrapped him into the whole lore a lot better than the previous ones. If you don't know, in the comic books, because maybe you're just a Miles Morales fan and you just stumbled across our channel, in the comic books, Miles Morales was originally the replacement for Spider-Man when he died in the Ultimate Universe. Then the regular Peter Parker came back, and Miles Morales went on to merge into the mainline universe, and then they closed the Ultimate Universe, and like he said, no one remembers the Ultimate Universe except Miles, but his whole family and friends and everyone emerged into the main time.
And then they just never talk about it.
And they just ignore the fact that he's not actually from this universe. While in the game, he's just a person within the universe who happens to get powers. And in the movie...
it's pretty much the exact same origin as the Ultimate Universe one. There's a slight difference in where the spider comes from.
Right, yeah.
And when he gets bit, but I mean, it's pretty much the same basic concept.
Oh, yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
But they don't kill Spider-Man in the game.
Exactly, yeah.
So
as far as we know.
So since this is a side story, I think we can automatically discount they're not going to kill Spidey to make Miles Spider-Man.
No, I can't see it happening. I think more likely it would be like something, there's a bunch more villains that have escaped, or Norman Osborn's doing some stuff. The city's going to hell, much like it did at the end of the PS4 Spider-Man game. Yeah. And Peter just goes, hey man, I really need your help.
Right.
And so Miles becomes Spider-Man.
See, my theory is, and I wanted to get your take on this. So Spider-Man did well. We
Yes.
know there's an Avengers game coming out.
Yes.
And we know that initially there was no Gamerverse, which, by the way, I love people giving me crap for calling it the Gamerverse.
That's what it's called.
Marvel literally calls it the Gamerverse.
In their comics.
In their
They call
comics,
it
in the
Gamerverse.
game toy line.
I believe so.
Yeah, all that stuff. But it's kind of been established now that the Avengers game and the Spider-Man game are in the same universe-ish, though they won't be crossing over because different companies and different licensing and stuff like that. Because Sony and Insomniac are doing Spider-Man. I believe it's Insomniac. Avengers is being done by Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah. It's kind of like Spider-Man is in the MCU right now.
Yeah.
Technically, they're in the same universe.
Right. And that's what they're tying them together in with, because there's a Gamerverse Avengers line and there's a Gamerverse Spider-Man line. And as far as we know right now, they cross over. So what I was thinking is, what if Spider-Man, there's some kind of rules where he's allowed to show up as a cameo in the Avengers game for A-Day, and they let A-Day happen. We know that's part of the plot for the Avengers game. A-Day's when the Avengers blah, blah, blah. If you're not curious, I'm not going to reveal it. But he goes to A-Day. That's when everything breaks out over in Miles' world. So Spider-Man's not
Miles'
in New York.
world.
Miles' world.
And Miles'
It's
land.
like Battle World, but it's just Miles
It's like
fighting
a weird
himself.
theme park. Miles'
What
land.
do you think of that idea of them like crossing him over? Like Spider-Man, Peter Parker went to go film A-Day or something like along those lines.
to go film?
Well, he's technically a reporter.
I mean, I guess. It'd be kind of weird for them to send a New York City reporter all the way, because he's a local reporter, and he's a photographer, not a
No, he's
reporter.
Daily Bugle.
Yeah, but he's a local photographer. He doesn't travel the globe.
What if he does?
It's a lot of stretches, but I suppose, sure.
Because I think what is it, A-Day, and then 5 years later, Avengers is happening.
Something
the game.
like that, yeah.
So you could literally, he's there for A-Day, and you don't have to involve him.
And it's just like a really bad day for Miles.
exactly.
He's like, yeah, dude, I gotta go take care of this thing in San Francisco. Don't even worry about it. It should be really quiet, but here's a Spider-Man suit.
Maybe it's just one more day.
Like that terrible plot line in the comics.
But yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I've trained you. You know what? Everyone's in jail. It's going to be great.
It'll be quiet.
I got to get on a flight.
snatchers. There's probably going to be a kid with a balloon.
Exactly. You'll be perfectly okay. And the moment Peter boards his plane, they're like, Alcatraz broke out.
Yeah.
The raft is letting all the villains out again.
Didn't that already happen? Yeah, it happens like once every month. It's kind of a pain, honestly.
What do you think of that idea,
Comes
though?
back out. I mean, I could see that, yeah.
There's an excuse as to where he's
That's
at.
why he's not there. Like he has to go take care of something, or
I feel like it would almost be a cop-out to be like, Spider-Man's missing, presumed dead. And Miles is like,
Well, I mean, that could just be the comic, though. Or the game. Is Spider-Man's missing, presumed dead. So Miles is like, luckily, Peter and me made this suit. I will find him. I don't know why he's standing like this.
no, I agree with you on that, but I just think it's a cop-out because we know he's alive. Knowing that this isn't 2 and that there will be a Spider-Man 2.
But what if in Spider-Man 2, we play as Miles again?
So your theory is that Spider-Man is going to die in the spin-off game.
No, but I could see the plot being that, where is Peter? He has gone missing.
He's at A-Day.
What if, stay with me here.
Okay.
This is them introducing the symbiote suit. And Peter does go missing because he has bonded with the symbiote suit.
And he's the villain
And
of the
he's
end
the
of the
villain,
game.
yeah.
He's Venom.
He's Venom.
That would be sick.
That would be cool.
That would be amazing.
And then, in Spider-Man 2, Agent Venom.
Yes! Okay. I'm on board with your idea.
All right, cool.
All right, but what do you guys think in the comments down below? We wanted to throw our opinions out there real quick for this one. If you want to see us talk about gaming stuff in general that isn't entirely about Spider-Man and this kind of thing, you can find us over at Comicstorian Gaming. I'm forcing Andy to do a discussion on the PS5 games as soon as we get done with this filming, so you can see both these go live pretty This is going to go live today, which is a Monday. And
You'll see it.
And then the discussion will probably go up tomorrow or Wednesday.
You'll
so.
probably see that too.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. Don't forget to go check out the Comicstorian Gaming channel. And if you want to find Andy, he's on Instagram at @ForIamTheAndy. There's somebody else who has his name on Twitter. We don't know
Yeah.
who it is, but I think
You can
someone stole
message
it.
him if you want to. He responds. It's pretty funny, actually.
I think it's a fan. I recognize the name. I think it's a fan that
You
grabbed
recognize For I Am the Andy?
it. No,
yeah,
the
it's
person,
me.
the person who's got the name on there.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a fan that grabbed it.
That's funny.
Anyway, yeah, you can check us out over there. And don't forget to like, subscribe, do the usual YouTube thing over here. Since this is going to go live sometime here on Monday, tomorrow you got Death Metal and Deceased. And on Wednesday, I'm talking about Stargirl, which is the best CW show ever. Before you go right in the comments that it's not a CW show, that's what we be talking about on Wednesday.
That's what we be talking about.
You're not here. I'll be
not
talking to
here.
myself
Yeah, I
because
don't
you
know.
have no idea what I'm about to talk about.
No idea.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.